G'day. Hidden in a quiet corner of England, just outside of London, is a multi-billion-dollar economy that powers the most technologically advanced and glamorous sport in the world. This is Motorsport Valley. 7 of the 10 current F1 teams have their headquarters within a 50-mile radius in a region known as Motorsport Valley. Mercedes-AMG Petronas is based in Brackley, Red Bull in Milton Keynes, Aston Martin's flash new headquarters is just a good wood and a 5-iron from the Silverstone circuit. You'll find McLaren's impressive base in Woking. Alpine is surrounded by greenery in Enstone. Williams is in Grove. And American team Haas operates its UK-based technical centre in Banbury. You could easily visit all of these teams in a day. And where are the other 3 teams based? 2 in Italy, Ferrari in Maranello and VCarb in Faenza, while Sauber is located in Switzerland. And what about new team Cadillac? They're just a stone's throw from Aston Martin in Silverstone. I visited a number of those facilities prior to the British Grand Prix, but I'll get to that a little later. This cluster isn't just a coincidence. It's the result of decades of motorsport heritage, engineering excellence and deep-rooted culture. And given most of the teams are based here, many specialist firms supplying everything from carbon fibre components to telemetry systems have also moved here. Welcome to Red Bull's headquarters here in Milton Keynes, which is a rather nondescript town about 25 minutes away from Silverstone. Inside a stunning array of trophies. This team has been richly rewarded on track, and there is one broken trophy in there. This one from the Hungarian Grand Prix. You'll remember that Lando Norris accidentally knocked Max's trophy off the podium and smashed it. It was replaced, and now they have 2. But perhaps this is the most impressive piece. An F1 car mounted sideways on a wall. There's no denying this is a huge campus. There are buildings everywhere. And this one over here, MK7, is their event space. There's a merchandise store here in the foyer. Let's check the prices out. This, about 142 US, 56 for a cap, and 110 US for a polo.
So this is Daniel Ricciardo's car, which is the race-winning car from Baku in a very different livery, not our usual Red Bull livery. And it's an RB13, which means it was 2017 when he won in Baku.
And of course, the Red Bulls are free. With Ford getting involved with Red Bull next year, there are plenty of them in the car park. Motorsport Valley employs some 40,000 people, many of them highly skilled engineers and technicians, and contributes over £9 billion, that's about 12.2 billion US dollars, annually to the UK economy. Universities such as Oxford Brookes and Cranfield provide a steady stream of motorsport engineering graduates, making the talent pipeline as essential as the machines themselves. On the Thursday night of the British Grand Prix, I headed over to the Swiss Aston Martin headquarters right opposite the Silverstone track entry. Tonight they've got a function here with a whole host of media, and that's a big Rolling Stones. Oh, hey, look at that. I've got the same one on here. What a coincidence. And over here, Fernando Alonso's car for the guests who are having a lively drink over there to come and have a look at. So over my shoulder here, building 1. This is building 2. And building 3 over there contains the wind tunnel. And they're all connected by bridges so that if it's wet, you don't have to get wet when you go from one to the other. This is the foyer here in building 1. Lance Stroll's car here. A stunning lounge over there. Let's go and see what trophies they've got. The first thing you notice when you come into the foyer is the serenity. Yes, it is after 6 p.m, but it's just beautiful. And the couch, yeah, of course, it's Aston Martin green. And more trophies back here, and an Aston Martin Vantage down here. And phenomenally, it is so easy to push this car. And if you're wondering how many people work here, more than 1,000. And with that many people, you'd think a win surely can't be too far away. Just on my way to Milton Keynes, and I passed this by pure fluke. This is the Alpine team's headquarters at Enstone. And this wall looks like it's been here for hundreds of years. I'm not sure it has, but certainly this sign here is covering up the old Benetton sign, because this is where Benetton used to run their business from. This is the Alpine A290. It wouldn't surprise me if the F1 drivers were driving this car to the track this weekend. Behind me are the A110s, and I've seen a lot of drivers roll up to tracks in these. These are 3 demo models. And over here is their main headquarters, and it's impressive. I was there the day Esteban Ocon won this trophy. It's displayed here in the foyer. And Brazil last year, Esteban won that. Pierre, this. This is the World Drivers' Championship photo, and Fernando Alonso's name's on here twice. And this is the 05 car of Fisichella's, and what a glorious paint job it is. I'll admit I was somewhat surprised to see that Alpine's facility was smack bang in the middle of fields and greenery, unlike the other teams that I visited. It was certainly the polar opposite of the glitz and the glamour of certain F1 tracks like Monaco, Singapore and Las Vegas. But the design, construction and engineering that enable cars to achieve those crazy speeds on track are crafted in these anonymous buildings off winding country roads in England. But if you drive 22 minutes from Silverstone, you could end up here at Haas. There are 2 cars here in the reception area at Haas, along with some nice displays of race suits and gloves, and of course, your 2 drivers behind me. This is Kevin Magnussen's race suit, his boots and his gloves, and Romain Grosjean's helmet, still with marks, obviously post-race. Now this is a substantially smaller operation than the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes. Here, all the race team personnel. In Maranello is the design office, and I did see Esteban Ocon earlier in the year going into the Ferrari facility, obviously doing work for Haas. And these 2 cars, if you're wondering, this is the VF, which stands for very fast, 16, was driven by Esteban Gutierrez. And this is Romain Grosjean's VF 18, raced in 2018. And in North Carolina, there's another office, which is the CNC workshop and also finance. And every F1 car from Haas has this little logo, Gene Haas's machine. Just come out of a quick tour of the facility and it is fantastic. A lot smaller, obviously, than the bigger teams, but they're working on a much tighter budget. But the team is growing, and this year they've had some good results. Perhaps there are more on the way. Now, a lot of people ask me how they can get a job in F1. Well, I would have thought if you were based in this area, in the Motorsport Valley, you'd be a far more popular candidate than those who weren't. And given there are 8 teams operating there now, this has to be the most obvious place to base yourself. Just across from the Tesco Superstore in Brackley is the headquarters of Mercedes. And look at this, plaques for the Constructors' Championships in 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then it comes back down to here with this year's races, only one for Mercedes, George Russell. And I imagine if they have several more, they'll fill up along there. Behind me, lots of top secret engineering works going on in a number of different buildings set over a big area. And while we couldn't get in, did manage to get a couple of driver cards, George and Kimi. With F1 pushing further into sustainability and hybrid technology, Motorsport Valley is already leading the charge. Many companies there are working on electric propulsion, hydrogen systems and advanced simulation tools, ensuring this quiet corner of Britain will remain the nerve centre of the sport for many years to come. And not too far from Aston Martin is the home of F1's newest team, Cadillac. They enter the competition in 2026. In an era where F1 is expanding globally, Britain's Motorsport Valley stands as a reminder that the roots of innovation, craftsmanship and excellence are firmly planted in the rolling fields of central England, the same fields that are home to Jeremy Clarkson's new pub. I visited that pub a couple of weeks ago. Check out that video once you've finished watching this one. Oh, before you go, please, could you hit the like button? Helps with the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, I warmly invite you to do so. Thanks for watching and stay passionate. 7 of the 10 current F1 teams have their homes. Recording.